Hey there, Meidas Canada viewers, resistors from all over the globe. Charlie Angus here from a hotel room. Yep, the Resistance is on the road. Meidas Canada town halls are on the road. My band Grievous Angels are on the road, so here I am in a hotel room. What we're going to talk about today is how Donald Trump is setting up the Vladimir Putin North Korea Christmas present for the world, and it sucks. Before we get to that, album of the day, you know, I always have an album, and I even have one in my hotel room, which is Alanis Morissette, Jagged Little Pill. Has it been 30 years since his explosive album came out? Went double diamond, one of the best-selling albums of all time. Still an album of urgency. And we're going to just do a bit of shout-outs for the incredible response we've been getting on all the various shows and the various platforms that we're on. This is Lena Rodriguez, Aussie here. May the snowbirds permanently change their migration pattern. Bless Canada. Yes, boomer snowbirds, check out, and anyone wanting to travel, check out our cousins down below there in New Zealand and Australia. Jan Sofair writes, France here. We don't buy anything from the U.S., nor would we dream of going there. Canadians are welcome here. You're our friends. Yes, France. Burb writes, I'm an American, I miss Canadians, but you must stay strong. Charlie is absolutely right. As we head into winter, you have a huge economic stick, and I'm proud of you for using it. There are crazy-ass American politicians like Tom Tillis that I hope will be swept out in the next elections. Well, us too. Pula writes, Charlie, you have a wonderful quality of being able to insult people and still sound friendly. Elbows up. I'll ponder that. Susan Cook writes, my daughter-in-law's parents hate winter and are avid golfers. They have overwintered in Florida over a decade. They love going there. They are staying home. They're worried they won't survive the cold, but say Trump is worse. Well, damn right Trump's worse than the cold. All you got to do is dress for it here. And snow is a lot better than ice. Here's from Van Halen Whalen, Floridian and U.S. citizen here. I am so proud of you all. I've only seen one Canadian license plate in the past 2 months, and I've been paying attention. Keep it up. It's like a ghost town here for the right reasons. Boo, elbows up, way up. We got great responses to our trip with Washboard Hank to the Pig's Ear bar in Peterborough, and we talked about the show that Hank Williams gave there. Heather Young writes, thank you, Charlie, for introducing us to Washboard Hank. This was a fabulous episode of a glimpse into Canadian history, and in such a fun way. Keep on, keeping on, and doing it your way. Love and blessings to all, especially those who believe in the diversity, equity, and inclusion from British Columbia. Cindy Walker just writes, good morning from Hot Springs, Arkansas. Well, good morning, Arkansas. Lisa writes, I'll get right to my concern. I follow and support you because you say you are the resistance against Trump and the fascist regime. But I do not support you becoming the opposition to Prime Minister Carney and his efforts to keep Canada united and to grow our economy. I was not impressed when you said you would voice your opposition to Carney's efforts to develop our oil and gas with a pipeline. I'm not a proponent for oil and gas, but Carney knows what he's doing, and it will help keep Canada a sovereign nation. Your followers and supporters do not want you to become an opposition to our government, but rather the fascist regime. That's from Lisa in Kawartha Lakes. And Lisa, I thank you for that, and I'm sorry. I can't tell you what you feel you need to hear. I can only tell you what I'm seeing, because I stay up thinking about how to keep our country united and democratic. And at times it means calling things out that are where we're going in the wrong direction. And I'm going to continue to do that. And I hope you can continue to watch, because I'm trying to do this from a right place. I Am Citizen writes, I mentioned the album by Humphrey and the Dump Trucks from Saskatoon. And I Am Citizen says, I saw Humphrey and the Dump Trucks. And by the way, American viewers, pissed means drunk in Canada, not angry. Well, we do get pissed sometimes, and we get pissed at. But that's a good distinction. I don't know what the terms are elsewhere, but often when we say pissed, it's because they were drinking lots. Not that I know anything about that. Gary writes, I love your reference to the Manchurian Candidate. Hits the political manipulation head on the nail. Tom Tillis fails to understand that the USA spends more tax dollars on Medicare and Medicaid combined than Canada's entire GDP. Why is that, Tom? Americans can't afford it on their own. That's why. And whose fault is that, Tom? Greedy insurance companies. Greedy insurance companies, yes. And the political ideology that believes everyone has an inalienable right to an AR-15, but nobody has an inalienable right to get into an emergency ward without going bankrupt. Got to call that out too. So on today's show, we're going to talk a bit. We're going to talk about the Putin North Korea Christmas that Donald Trump's trying to set up. So I hope you saw the episode where I laid out why Donald Trump is a traitor to his nation. His deep connections to dark Russian money that go back 40 years. And it raises the question, it's not just Trump. Why have so much of the American political, military, and media establishment gone along with this, pretended they didn't see it? We have the story now, with Trump throwing down this threat to the people of Ukraine coming into Christmas that they had to accept Russia's 28-point peace plan, which isn't a peace plan, it's a plan for capitulation. It's a plan of total maximalist victory by Russians for their illegal invasion. And Donald Trump told Ukraine they had no choice but to accept it. And then people started asking questions about, well, who actually wrote this agreement? And then Donald Trump panicked, as he always does, and he's been tacoing. But it's clear, this is a Putin plan to buy time. The Russians have had over 1 million casualties from this illegal war. Their economy isn't doing great. There's no guarantee that they are going to win this war. They need to get their sock puppet, Donald Trump, to pressure Ukraine in order for Vladimir Putin to win. And what are they doing? We learned that Steve Witkoff, who's Donald Trump's special advisor to Putin and the Middle East as a real estate developer with no background, was caught on tape basically conniving with the Russians about how to manipulate Trump. I mean, is this not treason? How is this happening? So this is the Vladimir Putin angle of what Trump's trying to deliver the people of Ukraine and the people of the world for Christmas. A terrible deal that will undermine democracy and the Western allies and sell the people of Ukraine out. Can't happen. But I want to talk now about the North Korea Christmas and how Donald Trump is also trying to isolate American citizens from the rest of the world and how he's doing it through the use of the U.S. mail. And so I wanted you to check this out, because if you're not aware that this is happening, you should be aware, because it is part of the playbook of trying to make a democratic nation isolated pariah on the world stage. So check this out. Oh, the weather outside is frightful. Yes, hey, Merry Christmas, all Meidas Canada viewers and visitors from all over the globe. Today, we're going to talk about Donald Trump's North Korean Christmas present to the American voters. Now, who on the planet would want to imitate North Korea? Well, step forward, Donald Trump. The guy loves his dictators. But the thing that makes North Korea such a disturbing choice is his nation has been completely isolated from the rest of the world. And that seems to be very much part of what MAGA is trying to do to the United States. And it's come down to Christmas gifts. Let me explain. So they have something in trade policy called the de minimis. Now, de minimis is a Latin term that means trifling things that don't matter. So in trade policy, they have a level which below that they don't pay any attention to because it's not worth their while, and it also costs a lot more to track. So the de minimis on, say, sending gifts back and forth across the United States was $800. Above that, you had to pay duty. Below that, they didn't bother. Donald Trump has gotten rid of the de minimis altogether. So what that means is that everything that is going to be shipped to the United States has to pay duty in advance. So a woman that we'd heard about who was sending a $21 ball of yarn across the border had to pay $15 in duty plus taxes on top of that, so it wasn't worth shipping. But it also applies to gifts. Now, the Republicans are going to tell you it doesn't apply to gifts. The gifts under $100 can go free. Well, this is how it actually plays out. And we know this because we were shipping out some swag the other day to our Meidas Mighty around the world. And to ship a baseball cap now, you actually have to open the package and you have to photograph what's in the package. Then you have to fill out a declaration about why you're sending it. And then you have to download an app and then you send that to U.S. authorities. Now, I thought the United States was protected under their Fourth Amendment so that the government can't snoop on your parcels. Well, they can snoop now. So if I want to send Cousin Becky earrings for Christmas in New Jersey, I have to have an app. I have to photograph what's in it, the package. I have to then send all that to the United States authorities. So people, who's going to be downloading apps and doing this? They're not going to. what it does is it makes the United States more and more isolated, more and more cut off. Now, the irony here is it's the United States that created the World Wide Web, and it was going to be this world trade and bring the world together, trading records and buying books and all manner of small exchanges. Well, that's not allowable under MAGA. So, sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but this is Donald Trump's North Korean Christmas, my friends. Cousin Becky, you're not getting the earrings this year. I would have sent them, but it's just too much of a hassle. So, sorry, folks. Pay attention. Pay attention to what he's doing in trying to isolate the United States from its neighbors and its friends and from people all over the world. It's not good. Mon chemin, ce n'est pas un chemin. Sur la neige, mon paillet, ce n'est pas un paillet. C'est l'hiver. Hey there, Meidas Canada viewers, resistors from all over the globe. Charlie Angus, suis ici à la Nord Ontario. I love the lines in that song. It said, my road is not a road, it's the snow, and my country is not a country, it's the winter. Yeah, Donald Trump might not think that we're a real country, but we are people of the snow and we're tough people. I want to thank you so much for your support for the Meidas Canada Network. Your stories, your connections. We're trying to build this global conversation, so I'm asking if you'll hit subscribe, tell your friends to subscribe. Please support the Charlie Angus Resistance Substack. It's how we tell these stories and build this global conversation of resistance. So yeah, this is the winter months. And we're going to get through this, because we always get through. That's what makes us northern. So thank you, my friends. Keep kicking at the darkness. It's going to bleed daylight. We know it.